they all have master's degrees and PhDs and things like that. My mother had my older sister at 18. So she is the only one in her family to not go to college. And so that was always like a sore point for her, a really sore point for her. Because everyone's a doctor, and she just barely made it out of high school. So when me and my sister were kids, my mother pushed us really hard, especially in science and math, because she figures that that's all that matters, really. So she pushed us. I had to go to school, like, like after school, weekends, summertime, all the time, doing all the STEM things and everything. So my mother really pushed us. So when the A team really took off, we got the fuck away from those black people. We left the South Side, and you're like, is that 20? I'm out of here. Okay, so we moved up to this neighborhood called Lake Forest. So Lake Forest is, if you're not familiar with Chicago, it is, I think, next to Winnetka, the wealthiest neighborhood in Illinois. And so we moved to Lake Forest. And so I went from no one believing me on the South Side that Mr. T was my dad to everyone believing me, because they're like, why the fuck else is your black ass here? So if you're related to Michael Jordan, okay, then it's Mr. T. So I go to school, and the principal, I was the only black kid. My sister is 8 years older than me, so she was in high school. I was in grade school. I was in 4th grade. And so the principal wanted to see me before the first day of me starting school, because he wanted to know if I'd be adjusted to it. But I went to private school when we lived on the South Side, so I was okay with white people. That's all he was pretty much trying to make sure, like, is she going to fit in with whites? Okay. And so when I went in there to the office, he, like, was like, oh, you got nice long hair, you'll be fine. That's all he said. So based off my scores at the private school and everything, they put me in all these advanced classes. So they put me in advanced math, which of course they did, because I had taken 1,000 math classes over the summer after school. They put me in this math class. My teacher was Mrs. Valentine. Valentine gives me a letter and says, I want you to give this to your mother, and next week you're going to be in a new math class, right? So I was like, oh, okay. So I go home, I give the letter to my mom opens it and goes, I'm going to fucking kill that bitch, right? And I was like, oh my God, right? So the whole night my stomach is fucked up because I don't know what she said. I'm thinking that, oh, was I talking in class, or was I not, like, doing my work? Like, I don't know what she said. So the whole night I can't sleep. I wake up, my sister takes me to school, my mom is dead. I am in homeroom, they're taking attendance. My mother comes in with black sunglasses on, black leather coat, black leather gloves, comes in and goes, where the fuck is Miss Valentine, right? And I was like, oh my God. Everyone in the class is like, who is that? And I was like, I don't know that lady. Okay. That was my mother. So my homeroom teacher is like, ma'am, can I help you? My mom was like, where the fuck? I'm like, Jesus Christ, Mom, we're in 4th grade. Like, why are you talking like that, right? My mom's like, I'm not going to ask you again, bitch. Where the fuck is Miss Valentine, right? My homeroom teacher won't answer her. So my mom's like, fuck you. Walks out in the hallway, right? The whole class goes to the door to see what's happening. Miss Valentine's classroom is right across. So my mom walks in there, because of course the name is on the door, when you're in elementary school, and comes out and is like, look, I don't care who you are, you're not gonna, and my mom starts choking her, right? And I was like, oh my God, right? And my mom is lifting her up and slamming her against the lockers, right? Now, at this point, my mom had to be like 33, 34 years old. Miss Valentine was probably 63, 64 years old, right? My mom keeps ramming her or whatever, right? So I'm looking at my mom, and then I'm looking out the window, and I'm seeing the police come up, right? And I'm like, shit. So I'm watching my mom do all these WWF moves on this lady, and then I'm watching the police, and I'm like, oh God, this is gonna... And our homeroom teacher is like, okay, kids, go back in the classroom. Go back in the classroom. She closes the door. I see my mom out with the police. I'll turn this motherfucker to Wake Forest. Like, whatever. She's talking shit like a Southsider. I'll kill every motherfucker in this school. They take her away, and I'm following Monday. Miss Valentine slipped, when they mopped the floor and it says caution, she didn't see it, whatever. She slipped, hit her head, had an aneurysm, and died. right? So all the kids were like, Erica's mom killed Miss Valentine, right? And I remember I went home and I was like, Mama, Miss Valentine died. Once again, my mom was like, fuck Miss Valentine. So I was like, what the fuck did that letter say? So I never knew what that letter said. So fast forward to about 8 years later, my mom was diagnosed with a mental illness. She diagnosed with manic depression, bipolar disorder, and she attacked a police officer, and they took her to jail, and then they took her to a psychiatric ward. And so I was in her room, like, going through shit, like, you know, when you're just kind of trying to find, like, oh, what made her go crazy, you know? And I'm looking through notes, and I find the letter from Miss Valentine, and I was like, holy shit, I've got to read. It was laminated. My mom had gotten it laminated. And it said, in not so many words, I can't remember exactly what it said, but it said, Dear Mrs. T, which is strike one, okay? Because my mom's last name is Clark. Mr. T is a fake name. So Dear Mrs. T, strike one. I was like, oh, damn, she started off pissing my mom off. Okay. She's like, welcome to Lake Forest. Erica is a joy to have in class, and I really enjoy her company. But I am going to transfer her to a remedial math class because I believe she's either cheating or guessing, because no student from the south side of Chicago can compete with the students at Lake Forest. So until she proves to me that she's at our level, I'm putting her in remedial class. And, like, I remember reading that and thinking, like, how many fucking math classes I took, and engineering and technology classes, and how much my mom had pushed me and all this shit, and this old white stupid bitch thought I was guessing, and I thought to myself, fuck Miss Valentine. So